It's a holiday. I don't understand why you are saying why. But welcome back. This is Sports Zone. I am Mufta Unabila. I have to lie. For whatever reason. My director always appears to have issues with countdown. I say 3, 2, why? Actually, have you ever heard why before? Was it 3, 2, why?
You and Pamela, this love-hate relationship, you guys need to define it.
What do you mean love-hate relationship? Where from that one to?
You hate to love her and you love to hate her.
Because she is my director.
But it's beautiful. You just need to define it. I mean, it's beautiful. Like, Pamela is in her brightest mood on Mondays.
Whenever she sees me, she gets excited.
That's why I said the two of you need to define whatever this is. If she wants to be number 2 to your madam too, that one is, so long as all three of you agree to it, there are no human rights breaches here.
The point is that Pamela has every right to decide to be number 2, right? But at this point, I don't want to put her at number 2.
She's saying things in your ears. She wants to be number 1.
No.
I heard that too.
No, that's what she's actually saying.
That too.
She's actually saying that she knows I have the opportunity to make her number 2, but at this point, she...
Pamela, the listeners and the viewers can't hear you.
Yeah, that's the point.
It is myself and Mufta who can hear you.
So I am communicating on her behalf. What she's literally saying is that, Mufta, I know you have number 1. For a number 2 position, when do you intend to make me number 2? That's basically what she's saying. When do I intend to make her number 2? I think you should provide the resources for that.
I will petition the channel manager. I've forgotten her name, Cry.
Edit.
Yeah. I'll petition her to change Pamela's schedule.
Why?
She should produce other shows, not Sports Zone.
No, on this note, I'll also counter petition her not to change her. It is not possible. The girl gets excited when I'm here, and now you want her to demoralize.
So it's an excitement you share.
Yeah, I
also get excited when you see her.
I really share in that excitement, but when she says 3, 2, 1, that one there. Victor Achitamakolo, welcome.
Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah, it's been a very workful holiday. Yeah, very workful.
That's the job you chose.
Yeah, spends the. But I think today was good. Saw a bit of Ghana Premier League today. Saw a bit of the Ballon Dor today. And we're here, still working. And
they also saw a bit of athletics action over the weekend.
Yeah.
No, speaking action.
Specifically in terms of...
Yeah, specifically on the holiday. But let's just mention Ballon Dor. Let's start on the Ballon Dor note. Ousmane Dembele beating Lamine Yamal to that prize. Before I hear from you, let's have Ronaldinho. In fact, my GOAT. You can have a different opinion on who you think the GOAT is, but me, from what I saw when I first came to Accra a little over 20 years ago and had the opportunity to watch television, Ronaldinho was arguably the best player this world has ever seen. And to date, I still stand by that. The next person to him is Zidane. 5. Victor,
care to translate what he said?
You said?
Care to translate what he said?
What he was basically saying is that thank you to everyone. This award is dedicated to my teammates. I got this because of them, my coaches or my fans. Everyone who has contributed to bringing my career to where it is today. That's basically what he said, even if I didn't understand a single word. But therefore, talk to me about Ousmane Dembele being crowned Ballon Dor winner 2025. Did he deserve it?
He deserved it. No question marks about it. I think we're beginning to see some consistency in terms of the winners, to the extent that I think last year as well, you could not have had a more deserving winner than Rodri. Yeah. If you look at his influence, which I think his best value came in the business end of the season, because PSG as a team had a slow start to the campaign, but after December, right from January, you saw a transformed team that by some distance was the best team in the world, by some distance. And I think the most significant tweak that made them what they were was because of the man who has just been crowned the World Player of the Year.
Yeah.
So his wasn't just about a player who was ridiculously good. It wasn't just about the fact that he was producing week in, week out, and that he made his mark on the biggest games in the season. It wasn't also just because he was scoring the big goals for them, but also because as far as tactical evolutions are concerned, he was at the heart of and was the most important player in the most significant tactical evolution in the year under review. It is not something that can be said about many players. Yeah, it is not something that can be said about many players. And for me, I don't think there can be any question. If there was anyone who perhaps came close to what Dembele did in the year under review, it would be the man who finished 5th in Rafinha. I thought he should have been the second. He should have taken second place. And probably a close 4th because the
But he
best
even came third.
Yeah.
Rafinha came third.
Yeah, because I would put Salah ahead of Vitinha. Yeah, but I don't think anyone can have any questions about. Look, he's come a long way. He's come a long way, and I think if you speak to Ousmane Dembele, he himself will admit that he has not exactly lived up to the potential that he showed.
Yeah.
For
especially during the days when he went to
Barcelona.
And all that.
Yeah, Barcelona, and for me, I thought that this was a sign of his rebirth. This was a sign of the maturity that of a player who finally, after, and he's made a lot of mistakes in the course of his journey, his lifestyle and how it affected his fitness, his issues of the pitch and all of that, and how it contributed to his diminishing value at Barcelona. Ultimately, they had to end that agreement and he moved on to PSG. Even at PSG, he did not have the best of starts to life.
But Barcelona would say it was a bad business.
Yeah, but at the time they made the signing, I don't think anyone could have questioned the logic behind it.
That's true.
Maybe the amount, but he is the player that I think Barca paid that money because of the potential of what we have seen today. So it's just unfortunate that
In
on
fact,
the night
the
that
potential that actually helped PSG to win the UEFA Champions League.
But it's just unfortunate that on the night that he actually realizes the potential that Barca thought they had paid for, he is beating someone that Barca put up. That's why this is going to hurt twice. Because Lamine Yamal did not win it, and Barcelona would have hoped that he did it, and it would hurt more because the man who beat him to it is the man that Barcelona thought was going to do it for them at the time they made that investment. But look, this is it sets the tone for an interesting Ballon d'Or conversation in 2026 because if all goes well, and if you look at the way Kylian Mbappe has started the season, at the moment there's no question about who's the best performing player in the world now. If you look at the way Kylian Mbappe has started the season, if he does well at the World Cup, if France do well at the World Cup, and perhaps they win the World Cup or finish in second place, there is a real possibility of another French player retaining the Ballon d'Or.
And if Mbappe had stayed at PSG,
there's no guarantee he would have won it for them.
No. And they won the UEFA Champions League.
Yeah.
Who definitely would have won it?
He would have been the front runner.
If you consider that the first season of Mbappe at Real Madrid was actually, the numbers he churned out were crazy.
Look,
just that he didn't follow that with trophies.
And it's a team thing.
You know what, I'll come back for us to have this conversation, and I'll let you rank maybe in the last 5 or 10 years where you place Dembele in terms of talent to other previous winners. But I need to go on Zoom and speak to Coach Elom to review the World Athletics Championship because he has something urgent he needs to attend to in the next few minutes. Elom Amenakpo is an athletics coach. Hey, this smile from you, Coach. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I understand you have some lectures coming up pretty soon. So, I just wanted to talk to me about the World Athletics Championships. What you witnessed from Team Ghana, your assessment of the team.
I think the team has done exceptional well. Since 2019, they were not able to qualify to the final. 2022, we were in the final and finished fifth. 2023 in Budapest, we couldn't run because of injury. And this year, we broke the national record and we missed out narrowly.
Was it 12,000 of a second, right? Or just 12,000 a second from where?
Yeah, what we have been advocating, I've been saying that we really need to handle this team like the way we handle the Black Stars. Realistically, if we want to win a medal, or individually, realistically, I can't say that we can win a medal with the kind of individual athlete that we have right now. Maybe the best we can go will be the final. But to win a medal will be tough. But there really is so open. It's an open field. You could see best teams dropping baton and all those things. But I'm very proud of the boys. They have put in everything that is in them, and it's just unfortunate that they fell short.
Yeah, you started from 2019, and at that time, Azamati was in there. Joseph Paul Amoa was in there, and in fact,
you have Sean Entry.
Yeah, Sean Entry, and then there was yes, there was this Martin Entry. Martin Owusu Entry, who was also part of that team, yes, of 2019. And they made it to the final, setting a games record of, was it 38.30 seconds?
38.08, that was in Oregon.
I mean the 30 seconds. That was a games record, African games record in 2019. And then they followed up to the World Champs in Doha. As you mentioned, that one we couldn't make the final. But as you've said, this is a team that needs to be properly handled. But we also know that we're at a point where Joseph Paul Amoa and Benjamin Azamati are gradually fading out. What does it mean for this team?
Well, for talent, we have a lot of talent in Ghana. I won't lie to you. When we talk about that sprint talent, we have a lot of it in Ghana. Not just sprint talent. A lot of time we just tickle ourselves that it's only sprint that we are good at. Just because we don't handle the athlete from a younger age to do the hurdles, to do the high jump, to do the long jump, javelin, and all those things. And because sprint is the cheapest, because you just need a starting block. Even if you don't have the starting block, you can do the sprint. That's why we have been doing it, and we say that we are good at it. No, that's not what we are good at. We are good at everything. So I think going forward, if we can have a developmental plan. Recently, I think Ghana Athletics sent GES or Ghana Athletics sent some athletes to, is it Morocco, to go in Algeria?
Yeah, that was Algeria, yes.
Yeah, to go and do some games over there.
Yeah, for the school championship.
Exactly. We have identified some talent over there. Are we able to put those talents in a developmental plan that in the next 5 years, like the junior, we have youth Olympics.
Yes.
In the Youth Olympics, these athletes should be able to do this. Or maybe not these 2028 Olympics, but the next one, 2012, are these athletes able to, we want to see them at this stage? That's what, I've been doing a lot of research, and that's what other countries are doing. We go to games and you meet some athlete and the coaches will tell you that, this game, we just want them to improve. We are trying to get them ready in the next 3 years and all those stuff. And sometimes it works that they even get ready before the developmental plan that they give them. But I think we have been doing handpicking for a very long time. We really don't have a pathway for athletics or track and field development in the country. And I think it's going against us. When you even see the long distance at the World Championship this year, you realize that the Kenyans that we say the race belongs to them are really not winning it anymore. Because every country is putting in a lot for their athlete to be competitive. Let's say the team that beat us to the third position, Netherlands.
The Netherlands, yes.
The Netherlands, are always in camp. Every 3 months they come there. Every 3 months. So it means that they come 4 times. So there's something we call periodization in training program planning. That's an annual training program planning. So within that plan, they come there 4 times before a major championship. Look, all our athletes are based in the US. I can tell you that when you speak to the athletes, they wish to be in Ghana training because the professional athletes are playing so much to be to live in the US, like a rent 3,000, like Azamati live in California, that pay the cheapest rent you get over there. If you want to be in a decent place, will be around $3,000. He has to pay his coaches, he has to pay for physio and all those things. Definitely, it's going to be cheaper in Ghana. Joe Paul, the same thing. One of the athletes about to sign a contract again. Yeah. So if we are able to get this athlete, and I think like going to the World Championship, if we are even come the athletes in Ghana, I mean, a lot of times they complain about food, the kind of stuff they eat. I feel like that when I'm home, when I'm in Ghana. Like by the time you wake up, you know what you want to eat already. That alone psychologically will get the athletes ready. The athlete, you look at our country, you realize that they are following track and field or athletics so much right now.
Yeah.
If they are home, people will get to this, like how Black Star is training, people get to the stadium to watch them. So there's that connection between them and the country. Then we also have the dignitaries coming to help them, to come and look at
motivate them,
watch them run. And then that is how they are also going to get local sponsorship. Because let's say, for example, if MTN want to sponsor Azar or Rashid or Isaac or whatever, I mean, MTN is not in the US, so I'm not going to be sponsoring you and then you are in the US.
They can't even relate. The telecom company can't even relate with the athlete because the Ghanaian community do not relate with that athlete. So it will be quite difficult for that company to be willing to pump money into the athlete.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing. That's what Botswana is doing. There's no Botswana athlete that is in the US. They are all home. South Africa, the same thing. Even when they finish school, immediately they finish school in the US, they are back home. Zambia, they are doing the same thing. So I think right now we have a very good track in Ghana that can hold the World Championship, that can hold any World Athletic Standard competition. But last time I told you that stadium is just 85% complete because it's not having some facilities that is required to host a standard competition like the World Championship.
Yeah, a major World Championship event.
Yeah, it doesn't have a weight room, which is unfortunate. To build a stadium like that without a weight room, I don't know what thought came into has gone into it for it to be like that. And you need to have some restaurants and some other things close to the stadium and all those things before you are able to hold that. So I think the boys are doing well. They are putting in everything in, like they are doing their personal best, everything just to be there. But I think as a country and stakeholders, we are not helping them enough.
Okay, Alan, just before I let you go, so that you can go and have your class. Next year, Ghana is hosting the rest of the continent in the Africa Athletics Senior Championships. And in fact, there's also Gaborone. The World Relays will be happening in Gaborone next year as well. What should we do, or what should Ghana do? Let me put it that way.
Commonwealth is coming on to next year.
Okay, that's also another one. So what should Ghana be doing for this group of athletes? In fact, Isaac Bochio was not out there. He's one of our best talents that we've got. In fact, in recent years, James Dazi has not been fully fit. So when you talk of pool, there's Solomon Hammond. When you talk of the pool of athletes or talents, they are there. However, as you've mentioned, it appears there hasn't been any deliberate plan to assist them to be able to succeed. Based on what they did in Tokyo, what should Ghana be doing to ensure that there's a certain level of consistency for them to be able to at least finally lay their hands on a medal?
Right. You see, right now we sent 6 athletes to the to Tokyo World Champs.
Yes.
And when you look at them, anyone at all could have run. Like any of them. I mean, it's highly competitive to run for the national team right now. That is what is good. And then if you are coaching such a team, you don't need to create any impression for any athlete to feel more important than the other in the team. Now, what we need to do as a country, we have a big pool right now that next season, now every athlete knows that to be in the national team, this is going to take a very hard work to get into the team because there's a traffic there right now. So I think as a nation, that is what I'm coming to say right now is what other countries are doing. We need to appoint a coach that has a particular philosophy that handles the team.
But in this championship, Ghana didn't even go with a coach because most of the athletes came with their personal coaches.
We went with one of the best coaches in the collegiate system.
No, I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that. But most of the athletes also came with their personal coaches. There were 4 coaches of the various athletes that were there. So was it necessary to even carry a local coach? Or you're talking about, as you mentioned, one of the collegiate coaches were there? Or is it necessary to appoint a local coach kind of?
What I'm trying to say is that, you see, really, the way our coach really will be different from the way I'll use a friend of mine called Coach Mickey, who also coach a relay. You know, we all have our philosophy when it comes to relay. I love to stretch the zone, and that works for me. But to stretch the zone, you need to train together for a very long time to get used to it. Let me set an example. When you watch the baton between from Azar to Dupont, you realize that there was a big delay over there. And that's what caused...
In fact, if that had happened quicker, Ghana would have medaled here.
Exactly. That's what... But, you know, but when you watch the first, the heat, Dupont stretched the zone. That's how come the baton was smooth and they were able to move. Sometimes too, because of the anxiety and everything, I actually made some little bit of mistake. But what I'm trying to suggest is that we need to appoint a coach, maybe 2-3 coaches that handle the team, that has a connection of a philosophy, that we have a head coach, like how the national team. And it should be done in that way, because this is the team that is very consistent, right? Yeah. They are always getting close. Like this team, we could even we can win gold if everything.
In fact, the morning of the event, I was actually thinking that gold was there for the taking because, in as much as the team was swung by the Olympic champions in Canada and the USA, Ghana had the fastest time going into the final from the Haze.
Into the final.
So clearly, it was there for the taking.
But clearly, if the final were to be run today again, I don't think the result that we are going to have. So, really, it's just about executing your race plan very well. Yeah. I mean, having that kind of mental toughness and all those things. And then, listen, I think we need to tour the country to tour the world when the season starts with the athletes we have. Samino is out of school right now.
Yeah.
And I think, God being so good, I'm hoping that he signs a professional contract.
Yeah.
So when that is done, the athletes that will be in school, we can use some of the home-based athletes. I don't like calling them local athletes. They are just home training, so they are not local athletes. They are home-based. So ask some of the home-based athletes to them. Let them tour the world, experience race plan. They train about 2.5 weeks before going to the World Championship.
Yeah,
but they didn't run any race. They didn't run any race with the training. So when you are training, it's just like soccer. When you train and you don't play friendly match, you don't know whether the game plan you are having will work for you.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, so you have to tour the world. That's what Japan does, Canada, Italy, all those countries that we run against. So we have African Games coming on next year, and then we have the Commonwealth Games. The Commonwealth Games, definitely the relay is going to be between Ghana, GB, and South Africa. So if we have to prepare, we have to be entering competitions that GB is in. We have to be entering competitions that SA is in. So that when we get there next year to, I think it's in Scotland or something.
Yeah, Scotland,
like yes. So we are able to compete with some kind of confidence, knowing that, these are the people that we have been running with, and then this is what we need to do to beat them.
Thank you very much, Coach Elom. Thanks very much for your time. We're extremely grateful. You can go and have your lectures now. Coach Elom Amenokpo is athletics coach. He has joined us to talk about Team Ghana. And talking of support, the moment the Botswana team won the gold medal, the president of Botswana called the athletes and had FaceTime with them. Charlie, when I was watching the video and the athletes were speaking to the president directly, the joy They kept saying, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I was so excited watching that, but
Look,
if that had happened in Ghana...
we don't need FaceTime. We don't need FaceTime. We need...
I think we don't need FaceTime. Now, what do we need?
The things Botswana are doing, are you doing the same?
In fact, they're actually hosting the World Relays next year. Yeah.
All we need is a well-thought-through national plan for sports.
And that we don't have?
We don't have it. We have people who pretend to think about sports for this country. We have people.
Are you suggesting the governance of or management?
That's exactly what I'm not suggesting. I'm saying
haphazard.
I'm saying that the governance of sports in this country is not well thought through. People don't sit. The people who occupy political office don't sit and think and come up with ideas about how to confront the problems that exist in our sports. We've just gone through 2 Olympic cycles in the last 8 years. What did we do with it? Did you see any semblance of a deliberate attempt to roll out a plan for sports? Be it infrastructure, human capacity development, participation in major competitions, funding. Across these 4 areas, did you see any sign of that? Rather, we had repeated cases of our athletes being stranded here or not enough money for last year for us to pay for a coach. Yeah. Then we took the cycling team to Glasgow and they didn't have the proper cycling equipment, so someone had to send that GoFund. I checked last week and the GoFund is still active. That GoFund account. Then
people are still donating.
Yeah, 7 years later, we hosted the African Games and the same issue of poor cycling equipment happened. So for as long as I have been alive and been matured enough to make sense of governance cycles and its relationship with the problems that we have in sports, everybody just pretends to think. They don't. They just lie. This is why, and this part is to Mr. Kofi Adams. Allow me a bit. You see, we have...
Your camera, is this?
Now it is your problem, Kofi Adams. It is your duty to think for this country. We have gone past the stage of enumerating all of our problems. If we wanted someone to tell us about our challenges and how the government and the ministry had no money, you would not be the Ghana sports minister, because I sit in here, I can tell the story of our problems better than you. Any journalist can do that.
Yeah.
So at this point, your duty is to move us from the point of rehashing the rhetorics of our problems to us seeing a clear blueprint in place. Now, elsewhere, what happens is everything that Elo Mamenakpo was explaining. When he said pathway, what he basically means is a well-thought-through plan that is properly resourced. That keeps the conveyor belts running by nurturing and providing the resources to nurture the talents, by creating a competition cycle, by creating a national pool where athletes get to receive something. Not just football, not just athletics or track and field. Not just boxing. But across the board, there is a plan for each discipline. That is what every country does. There is no magic. The people who do it in the UK, they don't have 2 heads. They have 1 head, just like me, just like Muftawa, and just like everyone. So my advice to the government and the ministry is this. Don't sit on the job. You say you want to roll out the sports fund. It is a good idea, but do it and do it properly. Left to me alone, I know you said that and they've actually scrapped the betting tax. Yeah. But the other aspect of it that the companies still pay, make that the primary source of the sports fund and find other revenue sources as well. Channel all of them.
We've had this conversation here before.
Into the sports fund, because Charlie, enough of the talk. Enough of the talk about we are going to do... The government was inaugurated on January 7. You only have a 4-year mandate. Today is 22nd of September. That means 8 months is already gone. That's almost about a year of your...
About 9 months. We're almost 9 months into the...
Yeah, it's gone. Set up that fund. Make sure there is enough money going in there. You have... So let's use track and field, for example. what we should have done in the last 8 years, because the team we have is an all-timer team. The former sports minister, from Isaac Esiama to Mustafa Yusuf, they just dropped the ball. Because you have one team that broke the African record. You produced 5 different athletes who broke national record for track and field alone.
Yeah.
2 of them females, 3 of them being men. Then you have the 4x100 team as well. Yeah. They finished 5th in one World Championships, and then they finished 4th in one World Championships. That is not a team that you joke with. So, Mr. Kofi Adams, your job from here on, create that sports fund, yeah, and create your national pool, and have a national measuring table, ranking table, whatever the nomenclature you choose for it, it's up to you. But make sure that that ranking is based on a point scoring system running on a proper competitive cycle we have here. Yeah. So that we don't have to go and handpick and decide that we are going to be represented by 4 or 5 athletes because they were fortunate enough to get scholarships, find their way into the United States, and because they have access to some of the best trainers in the world through the collegiate system, they are always the guy who will represent us. What about Edwin Gadai? What about all of those athletes? Let's not even talk about them.
Because I follow most of these athletes.
What about all of those athletes in Ghana who don't have the money to register for these major world meets?
Yeah.
So find the money to train athletes here, have regular competitions, and let the ranking system determine who gets state support to be entered to go and compete in other competitions elsewhere. That is the only way. Because look, this thing that we are patting ourselves in the back that, for the first time, the states paid for them to train for 2 weeks. It is nonsense. We're celebrating mediocrity. Because what good?
They were actually there for 10 days.
Because
I don't know what good 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks is 14 days.
2 weeks because you've added the days of the World Championships. Oh. Because what good is it if they are training and then they are not racing? Rosie Aboa,
yes.
Before she took to the tracks in Tokyo, she had gone 4 months without competing.
Yeah.
Why? In fact, last year, during the Olympic Games, Rosie Aboa had qualified for the Olympic Games. She and Deborah Akwa, we sent Rosie Aboa to Cape Coast while Lamar Dustin, her friends, were competing at the Diamond League. Why?
In fact, at the NCAA, the Ghana Athletics had to write to the NCAA for Rosie Aboa to get at least an opportunity of training small or participating in some of the events before the World Championships.
So, Mr. Kofi Adams, this has to be done. Look, the former government, they started something fantastic, but unfortunately, they chopped the money and they didn't roll it out. The Youth in Sports module that they
it
was a brilliant idea from President Akufo-Addo.
That's a very good one.
But they didn't see it through. Take the blueprints there, copy it. No, even if they insult me, I don't care. Because it is taxpayers' money that you need to use.
You don't care, but they care.
I don't care. What we want to see is judicious use of our resources.
That's true.
Take that Youth in Sports module, open it up. Look at what it says about our trainers and instructors. Look at how much money they thought would run the modules that they had created, and review it. Or if you like, don't even take that document, but essentially, look at the system for producing more trainers, and instructors. See how much it would cost to raise one elite level trainer, one for the second cycle level, one for the tertiary level, one for the basic level. And see what you can do from that, because the reality is that not every athlete will get a scholarship to the US.
That's true.
And so you need to invest in the people who will train the Saminus, the people who will train the Azamatis at the basic level, to ensure that you now are in control of the talents that is being produced here. So that you do that, you've taken care of the talents, education and developments there. Then you come to the issue of the infrastructure, and that is why Oral, Kofi Adams, and NDC, you cannot sleep on the job. Because look,
you know what?
Look, I need to finish this quickly.
Yes.
I'm not saying jail people. I'm saying that
recover the money.
Not even the recovery aspect of it. When it comes to Oral, my focus is not even about the prosecutions. When it comes to sports, my focus on Oral is not even about the prosecutions. Just get to the bottom of the youth resource centers. It doesn't make sense to me that we spent over $20 million on youth resource centers. And as we sit here, not a single one of them is good enough for us to have a competitive race on.
In fact, I did the RTI request and they sent some of the results. So you go through that.
President Akufo-Addo commissioned the one in his backyard in Koforidia. Go and ask the people at GAA and the Ghana Olympic Committee why they are not encouraged to go and host any proper
not even proper continental.
No, as for secondary school levels.
You see,
look, as for secondary school levels, you can bend the rules.
At you, we need talents.
I get you. I'm just saying that.
And we need the best of environment for the talents to thrive.
Let's be realistic. Secondary school, the intercore that you do this year,
make them go around.
Who at the GAA and NSA will tell the district director of education that you cannot hold the intercore in Koforidia in that sports stadium because the tartan tracks may have issues with it. Nobody will do that. So let's be realistic.
And the Ghana Education Service as well. What happened to your SHS Sports Festival?
For me, what is important is that look into that. Some of those facilities are not completely useless. The problem is that they have not been completed. But investigate the youth resource centers. Look at how much it would cost to complete some of them if it has to be rebuilt, whatever it's, because they cannot go waste. Before you even think about going to build new, that is why the idea to build new stadiums by
they want to build 7 new.
You don't need 7 new stadiums.
Oh,
it doesn't make sense to me.
The president said it on Saturday. I remember when I was watching the video.
With all due respect to the president, I don't agree. My issue is that investigate the youth resource centers. Look at what you can do about those ones, because you have a shorter route of getting a state-of-the-art proper facility to develop talent at that level. Yeah? While you are doing all of that, central to that, again, is the sports fund. You just mentioned the college sports festival, the university games and all of that. This consistent competition cycle that I've mentioned here, it is money that will do it.
So the money that will be the seven new stadia, why not just use them to invest and complete the ones we currently have?
Our problems are not beyond that. If you want to work, you will work.
We'll talk. I think Fent is joining us, but before Fent does, let's take a look at the event. In fact, we want to talk about the Ballon d'Or thing. I want you to rank Ousmane Dembele for me. But let's take a look at the highlights of how Ghana broke their national record, which previously stood at 38.07 seconds, to 37.79 seconds, and later to 37.93 seconds. Gettable. Who's having the that race, I must confess, it paid me. I was really hurt.
But it is, what did you guys expect? Look, for me, they exceeded expectations. Once they broke the national record.
For me, they didn't exceed my expectations.
No, you see, our expectations need to be situated within context. If this team has been exposed to, I made the point earlier that they keep training without any race, without testing these ideas.
That's actually true.
Yeah.
That's actually true.
So without that, this literally was they experimenting.
That's fine.
Let's take a break.
We are taking a break now. When we come back, Abdul Karim Benin, the Bande Pep Guardiola, who will be joining us with Ghanaian players abroad. This is Sports Zone, a show proudly brought to you by Guinness. Yes, we can't keep 4 in one Gary Soakins mix. I'm a Gary Soakins here. Easy and Piva natural mineral water, refreshing and revitalizing. The game energy, feel the energy. Karim has joined us, but before Karim, I've seen a couple of messages. This one is from Shafiq. He's the UDS. He's talking about, he said, on behalf of the upper grade basic education class of 2024, we extend our heartfelt congratulations to the UDS football team in China, proudly representing the entire African continent in the ongoing World University Games. He goes on to say that we are delighted with their performance and remain hopeful that they will help bring the ultimate trophy back home. He ends the message with, we stand firmly behind them and wish them the very best of luck. Shafiq Sharif Said with that message. And in fact, I saw a message or a post from the UDS account just a couple of minutes ago about their the team making it to the quarterfinal, following a 1-1 draw, and then them winning via penalty shootout or something. And then this one too also says that Emmanuel, watching from Cotonou, he says that Good evening, sportsmen. You guys are doing a great job. Congratulations to Ousmane Dembele for winning this year's Ballon d'Or. For my club, Arsenal FC, if we don't win this year's English Premier League, Arteta have to leave. Always play Merino in the midfield. And is there who is not a creative midfield? What? Who is not creative as other midfielders? And you can all see when Eze was on Pep, Pep was sweating, bringing in all his defenders and all that. And this one says, Manchester United is like a menstrual cycle. One win every month. Is it true?
It's not true.
Good evening, Sports Zone. Kari, why are you also smiling? Kari, I'll come to you, please. Just stand up for me. Then, good evening, Sports Zone Muftar. I'm a good fan of you, and I keep listening to you on Hayes FM, Enjoy TV. Thank you for your good job. Please, honestly, I really need your help. Please help me out, please, Muftar. I'm Kobina in Kumasi. Okay, Kobina. Send a message to Benaya. I'll call you after the show. And then, hi, Joy Prime. My name is Casillas inside Snit Tardy. And big ups to my sister, Ossie Cole. Ossie Cole Palmer was 8. And we, the Chelsea fans, are proud. Yes, Cole Palmer was 8. And this one also says that I completely agree with Elon. Is there a clear-cut plan to groom young athletes to lift the bar? Where is the next Rose Yeboah, for example? Anyway, thanks to United and the Old Trafford reign for beating the Chelsea fraternity into some peace and quiet. Power from Awoshi. And this one, I'm just taking the last one. The heartbeat of PSG team is Hakimi and Vitinha. So it beats my mind why people are so fixated on goal scorers, because there's no way I'll ever rate Dembele ahead of them. Anytime any of these two goes off in a game, the PSG team becomes a pale shadow of themselves. But congrats to Dembele. Regards, this is Mensa from Takrade.
Whatever makes you sleep at night.
Karim, how are you?
Muftar, you see, I'm wearing smoke.
I'm also wearing smoke.
Yes. Where are we from?
We're from northern Ghana.
Yes. When Nkrumah was declaring Ghana's independence, what was he wearing?
He was wearing smoke.
I actually didn't understand that.
Indeed. He didn't get the memo.
You see, you know, Nkrumah had a lot of northern allies. Where he was, one of them was the great Salif Dagat.
Yes. Mm-hmm. In fact, there was this structure quite close to my village, and they said anytime Nkrumah came down to northern Ghana, that's where he was staying. You see, when you go to northern Ghana, there are so many places like that, and there are so many stories about those
In my
structures.
defense, I went to...
Let me finish before
you finish. This character assassination, I will accept it. In my defense, I went to Tema to go and work. After doing Sports Center, I went to Tema.
To go for Dream versus Hashman.
Yes. Went to run commentary there. After that, I came back. I could not have gone there in the smoke. And it rained over there. So even if I had gone in the smoke,
it rained here too.
It would have been, would have been wet.
You see?
Because there was no protective shirt where we were working.
When you are lying, you talk too much. See, when he was coming, you didn't walk and come. What you sat in a car or you sat in some taxi and came. You could have carried it and put it in your bag or hang it behind you and come and put it at the office. By the way, let me say what I want to say. What I want to say is that Nkrumah had a lot of northern allies.
Okay.
Today, I'm one of them. Salif Dagati was the one who stood by him to declare independence. But today, I'm here, Nkrumah first. And he said something. Do you know that thing?
What did he say?
The people that are smiling and always sitting by you, hear them. I have my own story. One day I'll tell you about.
When did Kwame Nkrumah say that?
You can.
Are you suggesting that I should fear at you or at you should fear me?
Fear all of us. When he was declaring independence, one of the people standing by him was also smiling. What did he do?
What did he do?
You don't know.
Was he the one who tried to assassinate him?
Now, who led the overthrowing of Nkrumah?
Didn't they say General Afrifa and Co?
Idiot. Let's leave
But
it here.
the Afrifa story,
Actually, let's
before I continue,
our social studies teachers read it as well.
I forgot, but the thing it pained me. The person who denied us that third spot, his name is Afrifa, in the Netherlands.
Oh, that boy.
And Afrifa chose Nkrumah's birthday of all days to betray his country.
No, that's actually true. The guy was running for the Netherlands.
See,
in fact, even the way he was running down the neck of the
my
Abreshi.
good friend, Dr. Gamali, shout out to you. He drew my attention to it. That Afrifa Nkasa, he started betraying Ghana.
Not be today.
Not be today. On Nkrumah's birthday.
Okay.
Continue with
Today is also the birthday of my elder brother.
Yes, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday to Alasan Abdullahi, my elder brother, yeah.
Yes. So the difference between athletics and football is that when the footballers, they are doing well, we see some clubs that are like competing at the higher level. Yeah. They come to pick them and go and train them for us. But football, athletics, you know, when they go to the US and things, the time that they are supposed to be competing at the highest level, they leave. But with the footballer, when he goes from here to Denmark, then there's some Ajax that will come for him. From Ajax, he goes to West Ham. Then from West Ham, there's some Tottenham that will come for him. From Tottenham, where is he going next? Barca Madrid. That's why it will happen. But the athletics, when they go to the university, they are supposed to, now that when they leave, they're supposed to compete at the highest level. Now the university wash their hands.
and some of them get into... Charlie, athletics, it can be quite frustrating discipline to be a part of. In fact, when you speak to the athletes, you can appreciate their frustration. Yes.
So it's just the same thing. Like when I was doing the selection today, I could see that there were a lot of talents that I had to choose from, especially from the attack. Let's look at this guy like this, Joseph Opoku. Last week I mentioned that he provided an assist, but he couldn't make the team. That was because there was so much competition. And even today, there was still so much competition. Joseph Pencil had played for LA Galaxy, scored and provided an assist. And there was also Ezekiel Alador, he also scored. But for him, Joseph Opoku, he played for Zulte Waregem, that is in the Belgian top flight. And he scored for them, that is his first ever top flight goal. He scored for them against Charleroi, and they won that game. And that is like his first top flight goal. And I mentioned last week that he provided an assist. So if his club, that is Zulte Waregem, if they are to win a game, it means that he's going to either score or provide an assist. And over the weekend, they won against Charleroi. He scored. That is his first goal. The previous weekend, OH Leuven, he provided an assist. When they won against Anderlecht 2, he provided an assist. In his team, that is Zulte Waregem, he's their most productive player this season. He has 4 goals contributions in 8 games. So in like 2 games, every 2 games, he's provided an assist or scoring a goal for them. Then Jerry Efriye, he also plays in Belgium. That is, he plays for Louvière or some name, I can't really pronounce it. It's a Louvière. So they also
is it a French name?
Belgium, so it's French.
Okay.
So they play in the Belgian top flight. They gain promotion. He joined them from Al Qadsiya on loan for the rest of the season. And he also scored his first goals for them, a brace for them actually. And they won the game against OH Leuven 2-1. And he is just like being productive as a striker. He touched the ball only 11 times and completed only 3 passes. All of them he completed. That is the passes attempted, but scored 2 goals, being productive in the box and won the game for his team. Then Kamaldeen Sulemana, Atlanta is really doing well for him. He scored his first goal for them over the weekend and also provided an assist.
I watched that game.
Against Torino, that is Atalanta. In 4 games, he finally has 2 goal contributions for them. Then we have Mohamed Kudus. You know, usually we all like to see him here when he's playing for the Black Stars, but Otto Addo always fixated on playing him down the middle, and there was so much competition for places at the wings, and I had to put him as a number 10 for my team. Then we come to Abu Francis. He plays for Toulouse, and Toulouse, they played against Ejo Ogze. That is, the 2 of them, that is Abu Francis and Elisha Owusu. They played in the same game, but Elisha Owusu's team, that is Ejo Ogze, they won that game by 1-0. And Elisha Owusu won 4 of the 5 tackles he attempted in that game. And that is the most in the game. And also, Abu Francis was the second in terms of tackles won. 3 out of 3 out of following Elisha Owusu. Then there was also Gideon Mensah in that game for Ajax. They won that game. Then Ebenezer Annan, that is in the French second tier. He plays for Saint-Etienne. They won their game 3-2 against Reims. And in that game, he was really much involved, played as a left back for them, touched the ball 111 times, completed 74 of the 84 passes he attempted, and was key for them in winning that game. Then I mentioned about the competition. Then in terms of places here and there was also supposed to be some Augustin Boachi. He's really on form this season. In that game, he provided 2 assists, and this season, in almost every game he's played, he's either scoring or providing an assist. Then Patrick Pfeiffer, I think 2 weeks ago, I mentioned that he's gone back to somewhere he knows very well, that is Darmstadt. And currently, they are top of the German Bundesliga too. So if things go so well for them, it means they are in contention for promotion. And over the weekend, they won against Düsseldorf. And in that game, he was the player to win 4 out of 5 of the duels he contested and was key for them. Then Nicolas Opoku, he played for Kasimpasa, and they held Fenerbahce with 10. Kasimpasa. That is in Turkey. They drew 1-1 against Fenerbahce with 10 men, and he was key for them at the back, winning 2 of the 3 tackles he attempted. Then Ali Dusseidu started his first game for Stade Rennais. Yeah. That is after November, the ACL injury he had, and provided an assist and also 100% of the tackles he attempted. Then we had Joseph Annan in goal. He played for St. Patrick's, and they drew 1-1 against Galloway, but he was key for them, especially with his feet. Out of the 32 passes he attempted, he completed 30 of them. So, and this evening again, he played on Friday and played on Monday again today. So all of them, he was key for his team, and today they won. So that is the team of the week.
Thank you very much. I've just been told that Fentio is at the airport. Fentio, which airport are you? Are you in Doha or Rome?
I'm not disclosing my movements to you so that you look cool. You think I'm foolish.
Pamela, where is he?
In fact, they don't know. I've not told them.
Wow. No, this airport looks familiar.
It's in the waiting area.
This airport is very, very familiar. I'll say it. You are in Doha.
I'm not in Doha. Watch the airport. Watch where? So that you come and do poo. You think you are already doing poo in my absence. You want to do more poo. You think I'm foolish. You think I'm foolish. I will not. What Kotoka and the FIFA different from what you and Africa do to me. You understand? You people were mentioning the coup leaders from 1966. You left out Joseph Ankara, the former Council of Patrons of House of Folk. He was the head of state who succeeded in command the House of Folk people from Titi. You people
House of Folk played a football match today and won. You want me to come and mention someone they would rather not remember? Behave yourself.
Ankara was your longest serving member or chairman of the Council of Patrons of Accra House of Folk. He was the biggest beneficiary of the coup that Kotoka and the FIFA engineered, because Joseph Ankara became the second head of state.
You see, on another day...
Fentio, I beg, my time is finished.
Is it your time or my time? You see the coup I'm talking about?
At this point, I am the one driving, so it is my time, and my time is finished. So briefly, in like a minute or two, sum up the World Athletics Championship for me, especially from a Ghanaian perspective.
That was our most successful World Championship since 2005. This is the first time we've had finalists in 2 individual events. Since 2005, we've never had that. In fact, since 2005, the last time we had any of the teams as finalists in any event was in 2022 when the relay team made the final. Before that, you have to go to Aziz Zakari back in 2005. So we've been struggling at the world stage to have multiple representation and multiple events. But this time around, I think Rosie Aboa and the relay team, they did the country proud. The relay team missing out just by a whisker. Obviously, making the final itself was a great achievement, and running two of the fastest times in the history of this country in the relays in the space of 24 hours, that was remarkable. And on top of that, as well, now they have two of the top 5 times in relay history in Africa. South Africa have the top 2 times, Ghana have the 3rd and the 4 fastest times, even before Nigeria's national record. The time we run to finish 4th in the final is actually faster than Nigeria's national record in the 4x100 meter relay. So that is no mean achievement. And I'm glad that the president took to his social media to congratulate them. I would urge him to take it a step further, invite them over, have a brief meeting, sit down with them and encourage them. Because I would have expected the president or even the sports minister to have given them a phone call and spoken to them about that remarkable achievement when they broke the national record. We've seen what others are doing for their people who are participating. Yes, Botswana won and all that. They declared a whole national holiday in honor of their police and won. The president made a phone call to them. You know, yes, that's because they won, but there are different levels of success because breaking a national record at such a grand stage and winning that heat from our own level, relatively, it's great success. And I expected that we would have extended a bit of grace to these people other than waiting for 2 days to put up a social media post because I'm sure you guys already discussed it. They need encouragement. They need a lot of investment. We've not done that. And to go and do what they did, it would have made sense. And it would still make sense. It's not too late for the president to be able to pick up the phone and say, you know what, guys, come down and let's have a conversation. Let's see how we can help you to build on what you achieved in Tokyo. I think ultimately that would be, for me, the biggest thing we can do for them. But next year we are hosting the African Senior Athletics Championship. What sort of preparations are we doing towards that competition? We have less than a year to that competition. Like, what are we doing? We are hosting. Okay, what are we doing? Forget infrastructure, Muftau. Forget about the fact that maybe we'll have track and forget about organization. Let's talk about participation. What are we doing to ensure quality participation? We need to pay attention. Botswana are hosting World Relays next year. Their performance in Tokyo is a clear indication that these guys are getting something big when they host the World Relays. Because look at what they did, even though they didn't host the competition. And you can already tell that when they host the competition next year, they will be getting much more than just a 4x400. The talent is big. So they're investing all across. What about us? We are hosting Africa Senior Championship. Do you have any sense, any indication that we're pumping resources towards trying to make sure that we don't just put the rest of Africa to come and take the medals away, but we're hosting them, and we want to make a mark as well. So I think great science, great encouraging performances from Tokyo. How do we build on that? It's my ultimate question, and we must build on it.
Okay, thank you very much, Fentio. When you come down, we'll have an extensive conversation on this, considering the members of these decks and our love for athletics. We definitely will have lots of conversations surrounding Ghana's build-up to hosting the African Senior Athletics Championship next year. We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll take you to England, bring you highlights of some of the matches that were played, and then we'll wrap up. We're back from the break. This is Sports Zone. Time now to bring you Guinea's match there. But just before that, let me read a couple of messages. This one says that, good evening, I am Toxic from Asaman Kese. First of all, congratulations to the Agege family and Dembele. Keep up with your good work. And this one also says, good evening. My question is, the drinks on your table after the program, what happens?
Unfortunately for us, neither of us, both of us don't take alcohol, so.
After the program, we'll bring them back next week. Yeah. And this also says, Mensa again, he said that I applaud the government decision to build 7 new stadia using the Takwa TNA stadium model, but please use your medium to remind them to add running tracks so as to boost athletics activities in all regions.
You don't need new stadiums. Go and fix the youth resource centers that are rotten.
But it's actually a good suggestion that they should include running tracks too.
Yeah, but those youth resource centers, no, each of them is supposed to have, look, if there is anything they don't have, it is the waiting rooms, a spot for actual TV production. Those are the things you can add to it.
And then this one, I don't know why Vitinha finished ahead of Mo Salah, or the criteria they use is different from what they showed us. But anyway, thank God Dembele stopped the earthquake. What was about to happen or was going to be caused by the 80-year-old boy first. Hi, I am Owusu Ansah. Congratulations to Dembele. Congratulations to the future star Yamal. And then just before we came back on air, actually, I know we're just discussing something briefly. President John Dramani Mahama placed a call to the boys. They've broken a national record. They've set a national record. At least give them something. For the national record, they deserve some level of recognition. At least, if you can call Kotoko and Bibiano goes out and give them $100,000 for just representing the country in Africa. These boys represented...
For not doing anything.
For not doing anything, they're just going keke. These boys represented the country in a World Athletics Championships. They finished fourth, set a national record of 37.79 seconds.
Again,
at least there should be some recognition.
Again, a country that does not put enough thinking into sports management.
Imagine the president of Botswana calling the athletes, speaking to them.
For me, it's not even just about calling them. In most countries, there is a reward system. So
for success.
If you win a medal for the country, there is compensation. If you break a national record, there is compensation. If you set a national record, there is compensation. And there is a known fund that takes care of these things. So they don't wait for things to happen and then they now start scrambling looking for, where can we and how much should we give them? Those are predetermined.
Pamela is trying to say in my ear, I don't want to hear that one. Yes.
That's what he did over the weekend.
In fact, anytime Pamela wants to sack you, she'll go and put the score of the montage under. They do pay. I know I have to get inside now. This has been Sports Zone brought to you by Guinness. Yes, we can. The game energy, fuel the energy, Piva natural mineral water. And they have made it possible for us to bring you this show tonight. And for Guinness March Day, Guinness made it possible for us to bring you Guinness March Day. We appreciate your company. Continue to enjoy the rest of our programs.